Let's break down the day's market movements with Nesan Nair from Sasfin. Nesan, many thanks for your time this afternoon. I want to start with what we saw on the local bourse. Industrials down 0.8%, financials almost 1% in the green. Why did we see this kinds of movements? What are the catalysts there?
Yeah, good evening, Rofi. It's I suppose there's been a little bit of profit taking. You know, the markets have been very strong in the last 2 weeks, and you know, we are approaching the elections in the US. You've seen also the rand weaken slightly. Everybody's talking about this big deal that that Trump's going to do, but more than likely it's going to happen after the election. I don't think you're going to see any big stimulus anytime soon. So I think maybe just a little bit of profit taking ahead of those impending US elections, maybe a weaker currency and some risk off.
Right, and then let's get to some company news now. Spur releasing its trading statement, showing some impressive turnover in its various establishments. But this business of delaying results at Nesan, the JSE is getting tough on companies who do that.
Yeah, I suppose it's inevitable. You know, the working conditions recently aren't normal, and you know, there's lots of companies still adjusting to the whole concept of having to work remotely. But just on Spur's results, I thought they were really impressive. You know, they've got back to about 70%, 75% of their turnover compared to last year. Of course, the different brands within Spur all doing differently. Hassa Grill, which seems to be everybody's favorite spot right now, almost at 93, 94%, so almost back to last year's trading levels. And I think in the months to come now, especially with the Christmas period coming up, I think a lot of people, are going to start going out again. I don't think we're going to see too many people doing any international travel, and I think hotels and restaurants, once they start opening in full, are going to have a lot on their hands.
Right, and I'm going to be speaking to the outgoing chief executive in the next bulletin. What's one question you would ask him, Nesan?
Just generally, are there going to be any brands that they probably feel they need to exit? They've got, I think, about 8 or 10 different brands, all performing differently. But of course, post-COVID-19 is going to be a different environment for the restaurant industry. And I'm just wanting to find out from him which brands they probably are going to have to let go of.
Right. And then I thought it was rather interesting, the statement from TFG this afternoon or earlier this morning, talking about further investment into their plants in the Western Cape, shying away from suppliers like China. I mean, one of the very few companies with a healthy capital to be doing this sort of thing, hey, Nesan?
Yeah, absolutely. I was fortunate to go on a site tour about 6 years ago to one of their plants in Maitland. They just started this, of course, the whole concept of manufacturing from home. You know, it's great to see that a big listed company like TFG Group is leading the way in local manufacturing in a large-scale employer like the clothing industry. So I just hope that, the other big listed groups would follow suit. Of course, with a weak currency at the moment and with logistic issues that we've experienced through the whole COVID-19 scenario, I think we're going to see a lot more local manufacturing. And I must say it's wonderful for jobs.
Right, Nesan, so much to discuss, so little time, but thank you for that. That's Nesan Nair of Sasfin.